Okay, today we're going to learn a new lesson, lesson number 5, English. Okay, subject English. Message in a bottle. Just to imagine when you are playing regularly in a place, and one day, surprisingly or luckily, if you find anything that really make you excited or surprised, okay, and that thing got some strange kind of thing, like any letter or any gift within it. What will you do, and how will you react to it? So this kind of incident happened in a fishing village. Okay, a boy and girl, they are very close friend, and they used to play in the seashore every day in a small fishing village in South India. Okay, fishing village means it's near seashore. Okay, and every day they used to play because there will be huge sand place, like full of sand, so we enjoy playing in the seashore. So these children, they used to play every day, and one day luckily they got a bottle, and inside the bottle they found a letter. And let's see what kind of letter it is, and from where they got, and what is written on it, and what they did after the letter they received. Okay, let's go to the lesson and see what had happened. Okay, a long time ago, two children, Meena and Ajay, lived in a small fishing village by the sea in South India. They were good friends and lived next door to each other. Their fathers were both fishermen. Okay, and as I told you, Meena and Ajay, they lived in a same village nearby. They are neighbors. Next to door means they are very close neighbors. Okay, and they both very good friends, and they used to play in the seashore. And their fathers, both fathers, were fishermen. Fishermen means their full-time work is to catch fish. They used to go into the sea, and they used to catch the fishes for their daily living. Okay, and just like we cultivate, we do all the cultivation, we do the work in the field. They used to go to the sea and catch the fish and sell it in the market, and that is how they get their earnings and money. Okay, that is their work. So they are called fishermen. Like we people who are doing farming work, we call them as a farmer. But the people, those who catch the fish, they are called fishermen. And the entire village is filled with the same kind of work people. Like they all of them are fishing people, fishermen. Okay, and there was no school in the village, so the children built sandcastle, chased crabs, swam in the sea, and climbed coconut palms all the day. And they had a wonderful life without any worries. So just to think about, in the morning they will have breakfast and finish all their duties, and immediately they will go to the seashore, and they will have a lot of fun. You will find lot of crabs coming out from the sea. So whenever we chase them, they immediately get into the sand. You cannot find it. So very fastly they will go. So that is how they play every day. And also in the sand they can found, build castles, houses, many kind of shapes, and they simply play, climb up the coconut tree. In the seashore you can find a lot of coconut trees, and without any worries, means they don't have any other worry, no job at all. Simply they will play, enjoy their life, and they will again come to their home for lunch, and again they will go and play. So throughout the day they have a fun and enjoyment. Okay, one day they were playing on the beach when they found a large green bottle. See, one day they were playing, and luckily they found a large, means it's a very big in size. Okay, and a green color bottle. And with great difficulty, the children took the cap of the bottle. Inside it, they found a piece of paper. See, the bottle was closed with a cap, and very hard. They tried very hard, and they removed the cap, and inside it they found a piece of paper. See, He is holding a piece of paper and the girl is having the bottle in a hand, and they used to play like this. They used to make these kind of castles, small houses, and they will have a lot of fun. Okay, and what does it say? Cried Meena excitedly. So, on seeing the paper, Meena asked him, "What is written on it?" So they did not know what is written on the paper. Okay, I don't know, replied Ajay. Ajay also told, I don't know. There is some writing on it, but we can't read. So Ajay said, see, I don't know what is written, but something is wrote on the copy, but I don't know what to read. I don't know how to read. Okay, and what they did, the children wondered what to do, and they had no idea what to do with their letter. And old Manu, the shopkeeper in the village, could read. So they thought that the old Manu is a man, is an old man, he is a shopkeeper. Shopkeeper means he was looking after the shop, and he is selling some kind of day to day daily needed things, and he could read and write. So he would be able to tell them what it said. They decided to go to him. They scrambled along to the shop with the bottle and the paper. So both of them slowly they thought that Manu can read this. So they both of them started walking towards the shop with the bottle. So here the new word we can learn. Scamber means scampered. Scampered means they ran very fastly. They did not go slowly because it was an exciting experience they had, and so they want to know what it is written there in the letter or on the paper. So they ran very fastly to Manu, the shopkeeper. Look, Manu, cried the children excitedly. Look what we discovered on the beach. So immediately they gave to Manu, the shopkeeper, and they told him, see what we found in the beach, on the beach, what we have found. Just you check it out and tell us what it is written. The old Manu took the paper from the children. He put on his glasses and started to read. So old Manu, what he did? So he uh, took the paper and put on his specs. Okay, and since he was old, he could not see it clearly. So he put on the specs and he started to read on the thing that is written. If you get this, said old Manu, reading from the paper, please write to me. I am David and I live in a small fishing village in New Zealand. Here is my address. Old Manu pointed to the address on the paper. See, so now Manu is reading the letter, okay, and it is written on the letter that I am David. I live in a small fishing village in New Zealand. So here is my address. When you get this letter, you write to me. Okay, so that is what written on the letter. So the Manu told the children, here is the boy's address. He said, this bottle has come all the way from New Zealand. It is a country far away over the deep blue sea. You must write to David. He must be a small child just like you. Tell him that you found his message. Okay, and Manu told the children that, see, this bottle came from very far from, it is over the deep blue sea. It crossed many long kilometers and reached here. And the letter who wrote his name is David, and he live in a village in a country called New Zealand. Okay. So when he said to these children, the children looked down at their feet. They looked sad. So when he read out the message, the children felt very sad. Why are you looking so sad? Asked old Manu. Manu asked, why are you looking very sad? So the children said, we cannot read or write. So replied Meenu quietly, we are foolish. So they said, we cannot read or write, so we are foolish, said Minu. But old Manu said, no, you are not foolish at all. And why don't you learn? He asked them, why don't you learn? You are not foolish. Of course, you don't know how to read and write, but you are not foolish. Why don't you learn? So you start learning something. Okay. And Ajay said, there is no school in our place. So how can we learn? So if there is no school, how can we learn? So we have to be very thankful because we have school in every area, right? You have school in your village. Just to think about 30 years, 40 years back, even your grandfathers, during though their time, there was no school in the villages. Only in the town area we find schools. So today we have schools in every village, and in every area we find lot of schools. So it is very good for us to learn things. See, without school we cannot learn anything. See, just to think about these children, they did not have any school in their place, so they could not learn. So Manu said, I will teach you, said the old Manu with smile. So he happily said, I will teach you to read and write. Okay. From that day, every afternoon when the shop was quiet, the children sat with old Manu. He gave them paper and pencil, and he taught them to read and write. Okay. So that day itself, they started their classes. So every day afternoon, the shop will be quite free because nobody will be there, and they will get enough time to learn. So they used to come to Manu, the old Manu, in the shop, and he will teach them how to read and write, and he will give them paper, pencil, and they he taught them to read and write. And some months later, Meena and Ajay wrote a letter to David in New Zealand. So after few months, okay, some months later means after 2 3 months or many months, they wrote a letter to David in New Zealand. Who wrote? Meena and Ajay wrote a letter to David. See, immediately getting the letter, they could not write it back because they don't know what to do, and they don't know reading and writing. So they learn reading and writing, and they send a letter to David in New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand is a very far country from our country. Okay, he wrote them back to them. The months went by, the years went by. So on receiving the letter, David also wrote to them the reply. And again they wrote. They sent letter each other. Though many months went on, many years also went on. They had a good communication, and they started writing each other the letters. Meena and Ajay still write to David. Now they are nearly as old as old Manu was when he first read them the message in the bottle. So now they become very old, but still they are writing letter to David. So how surprisingly, see, it is a kind of surprise friendship they got on the seashore. Even we also used to get, right, when we go to school or go to market or on the travel, we get new friends. They used to sit with us, and we will have a talk, and finally we will become very close. And some people will have 2 3 days of travel on the in the train, and they get enough time to get to know each other. So that is how we get lot of friendship. Okay. And here Ajay and Meena, they got a wonderful friend name called David from New Zealand. He is from very far place, and they used to write each other. They used to write letters, and they had a good friendship and fellowship. Okay, fine. This is all about the message in the bottle. Okay, here we have some word meanings. Okay, you can write this word meaning on your copy, and you can memorize it. So learning word meaning gives you more courage in developing your language. It helps you a lot. Okay.